Do you want to set yourself up for success when hunting? Well, then you must avoid the 3 pitfalls I share in this video. They're based on my 28 years of experience as a hunter, the latest knowledge about learning and skills development, and concepts that help Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett make a ton of money. What a mix. By the way, did you ever take the dreaded candy store approach when you packed for a hunt? If you did, well then this video is for you. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you definitely must keep watching. Welcome to the Red Kettle channel. This is where you get a view under the bonnet. I'll share updates on product development and tips and tricks for efficient hunting. Today it's all about the 3 pitfalls you must avoid when hunting. Admit it, I've got a sweet tooth, in a big way. And when I set foot in a candy store, I want to grab everything in there. I have real trouble choosing and limiting myself. Here's the deal. It's not uncommon for hunters to take the same approach when they prepare and pack for a hunt, especially if they don't have a crystal clear picture of the situation and a plan for how to deal with it. I'll tell you how that once caused me to make a big mistake on a hunt in Scotland. In the previous video, we established that you must treat anything new as a big red flag. New to hunting, new hunting ground, or new piece of gear. If you want to harvest wild food and put a trophy on your wall. But why is that? Well, new to hunting means information overload. A new hunting ground means taking a step down the learning curve. And a new piece of gear can do exactly the same, or at least require you to do some intentional and structured practice. By the way, here's a link if you want to watch the series from the start. The 3 scenarios I just mentioned can manifest themselves in 3 ways, the 3 pitfalls you must avoid. Remember the scene from Terminator 2 Judgment Day, when Arnold walks down the hallway of a mall with a box of roses, and remember how he pulls a sawn-off shotgun out of the box. Imagine if the box only contained roses because T-800 thought he was going on a date. In that case, the situation would have played out differently, and not to Arnold's advantage. I don't suggest you'd make a mistake of that magnitude when preparing for a hunt. What I'm saying is this: unless you have a clear picture of the situation you're preparing for and a clear structure to help you plan and prepare, well then you create a breeding ground for choices that are inconsistent with the conditions you'll hunt in. You're grabbing stuff left, right and center, like me at the candy store. Which leads us to pitfall number 1. It's planning and preparation that is inconsistent with the conditions you'll hunt in. By the way, about Terminator 2, post in the comments if you know what model of shotgun Arnold used in that scene. Fortunately, there's a simple way to help you supercharge your preparation. It'll also help you with the other 2 pitfalls, and I'll get to it at the end of the video. When you think carefully about it, hunting is not about glassing, tracking or shooting. Those things are important and skills you must execute effortlessly. Your mind must be focused on reading the situation. You must establish options or choices, decide on the best one and implement it. I once hunted red deer in Scotland. I rushed my preparation and, long story short, I wasn't 100% familiar with my new rifle and I picked an old scope that given me some trouble in the past. The result? I failed to run through my pre-shot checklist and I didn't realize I was shooting from the lee side of a knoll. So I underestimated the strength of the wind. Result? I got shot a red deer hind. Fortunately, I managed to correct my mistake, but it was a situation I'd rather have been without. And I was an experienced hunter at the time, but I was so dead set on bringing that new rifle, I ignored the fact that sourcing component ate away time I should have spent practicing. I didn't have time to familiarize myself with that new setup. So in the field, I had to think too much when using the rifle and scope. I exceeded my capacity to handle new concepts, so I dropped the ball. Well, Barbara Oakley is a learning expert, and she's got the solution for that kind of scenario. She explains that when you practice a skill or study a concept, you move it to your long-term memory. You create kind of a subroutine, and that frees up your working memory capacity, so you can process what's going on around you. And here we have it, pitfall number 2, a lack of subroutines. Subroutines will free up your capacity to hunt, but you can also improve the way you process things. Charlie Munger is Warren Buffett's investment partner. He's wise by anyone's standards. And here's a quote from him that you should consider as a hunter. The latter's work he refers to as mental models or mental maps. They can be specific frameworks for analysis like first principles or Occam's razor, but they're also products of your experience, like the way you've seen deer react in the past. Much like that image I got that instantly told me I got shot the deer in Scotland and allowed me to act fast enough to correct the error. Developing a structure of mental models or experiences will help you process the hunting situation faster. And the flip side of that is pitfall number 3, a lack of mental models to help you orient, decide and act when hunting. By the way, John Boyd has much more to say about mental models, but we'll cover that in another video. Unfortunately, knowing the pitfalls is not the complete solution. It doesn't matter what scenario applies to you, whether it's new to hunting, hunting a new ground, or if you purchased a new piece of gear. It's not enough to be aware, you need a structure to help you address the pitfalls. Exactly like a good load development requires a structured approach, or like Elon Musk's semantic tree I mentioned in part 1 of this series. My structure is 5 simple questions. I could definitely have used them when first starting out hunting, and I use them every time I hunt abroad or integrate a new piece of gear. Why? Because they work. Click the video on top if you want to know more about the 5 questions. If that video isn't ready yet, you can find some inspiration from the playlist at the bottom, the What Can Hunters Learn From series, including what you can learn from Bruce Lee and Jedi Knights. Click to check them out.